Hello, I am here with Dan, and we're just going to call him Dan even though his real name is Dan Murphy because we've got another Dan on staff, but he's now called Nails, and if you're not confused by that, well, you're smart. Dan, how are you, mate? All right?
I am not too bad, Adam. How are you?
I'm grand, mate. I'm fantastic, and I'm actually genuinely I'm excited because last year sometime a game called OlliOlli came out and nobody seemed to care on the team apart from me, and I was head over heels in love with it, reviewed it, gave it 9 out of 10, and you loved it too apparently.
I did. I think I picked it up on a sale when it was something like £2 on PSN and fell in love. I heard a lot of stuff after it because it was one of them games that kind of grew a reputation after it came out because everyone then realised how good it were. So I picked it up and I genuinely loved it. It was one of them games where it infuriates you by how much you want to be good at it, but just you end up with dirt in your face. But then when you get good at it, it's just that feeling that you've achieved something. So yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, and to be honest, like a lot more people have come since and sort of jumped on it and do like it. But we're here to talk about the sequel, OlliOlli 2, Welcome to Ollywood, which is a terrific name, superb name.
Is. It kind of came out of nowhere, the release date, didn't it? I was like last week, coming out this week. I was like, buzzing.
To be honest with you, like the whole thing came out of nowhere. Like we had the guys on the podcast, and it's like I don't know that I ever expected a sequel for it, but it's because the original's now coming to Xbox One and PC. No, it's out on PC. It's coming to Xbox One, and I want to say it's coming to Wii U and 3DS.
I wouldn't be aware.
I may be making
I know it's PlayStation stuff first.
Oh yeah, no, well OlliOlli 2 is definitely, it's PS4 and PS Vita, and we're talking to you because you've been reviewing it.
Indeed.
And from what I gather, because I've played a bit of it, I've not played as much as you, but yes. I have played it, and what I want to talk to you about is I started playing it, and having played the first one an awful lot, I was really excited about this, and I started playing it, and I sort of went, oh fuck, this is just that again with a different art style.
How wrong were you?
Well, I was super wrong because as soon as you hit the second world, they introduce a new mechanic, which it fucking blew my mind.
It does. The manual which we are referring to, it's so basically it's when you land your tricks, instead of just landing normally and beginning to push off again, you actually do a kind of wheelie on your skateboard, which keeps your combos going, and it's really good because, in my opinion, it makes it so you're not a master of the game again as soon as you come back into it. You've got to change how you play in order to get the high scores, because you'll not complete the challenges and get the scores needed to get the harder levels if you do not keep your combos going by using the manual.
What I found fascinating about it is it really made me think about the level design, because there's bits in the first game where you, as you get better, you go back and you think, I can combo this whole level, and often you can't, but in this one, like the second you unlock, well not unlock, but the second you learn the manual, like right, I need to go back now because I can definitely combo every single level in theory. I would think, yeah,
like when I didn't get it at first because it's one of them. They introduce you, they tell you how to do it, but they don't really tell you how to master it, how to implement it correctly. So when I first went into it, I didn't really nail it that well, and I was tripping my way through levels, not getting any stars at all. But then I went on and it clicked with me, and I think the 4th world maybe, and then I went back and I've been rinsing through all the levels now, and it's one of them that really you really learn how to do it as you go on, and then when you go back to it, you feel better for being able to know how much you've improved as you've gone on.
I mean, it's one of the things I particularly love about OlliOlli is the fact that the second you feel like you learn something new, you just it's not a game you're like, right, I'm just gonna play through all these levels. As soon as you feel a bit more confident, I find that you just go back to the start, because
you do.
You just want to, and it has got that hook of the leader, but the leaderboards weren't there originally in the first game. It's something I remember when I reviewed it. The real disappointment is that there are no leaderboards, because it reminded me of MotorStorm RC. I don't know if you played that on Vita, where it lived and died by the fact you had on the leaderboard and you were constantly, you know what I mean, you were going back and forth like that. Whereas this didn't have it, and now this. It did when it came to PC and I think PS4, but now this has it out of the gate, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, and I think that'll help it. Last a long time in the memory, so as people will go back to try and beat their friends. I could see them at some point, like how Trials do it, how you have to. The hook is to beat your friends. Everything. I could see them going back and implementing a ghost mode where you can see your friends on it if they could.
That would be amazing. That would be
and
genuinely amazing.
Yeah, and you could see how you're doing compared to your friends. I could actually see that working really well for this type of game, actually.
I mean, the thing we can't talk too much about at the moment is the multiplayer, because in the retail version of that, it's not there yet, is it? The I've forgotten what it's called.
I didn't even know there was any, so that says something.
Yeah, no, it's not there in the build you're playing, which is the final version of the game. That I'm playing a sort of a preview build. It's a build of the game with the multiplayer, which is being patched in after the fact, and it's 4-player on screen. We'll probably do something else with that, like a whole separate video. When it's local only, from what I understand, but like we'll bring something to anyone watching this wondering what it's like. Because we don't know when it's being patched, we just know it's being patched in after. But to be honest with you, it doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game. I just, I didn't expect to be hooked again. Really?
Yeah, it does lead you in thinking it'll just be a bit more of the same. Like with the first level, the only thing they added is the launch pads, which
I forgot about that.
Yeah, which just fling you in the air, and it doesn't really seem to add much on the face of it. But when you go in and learn manual later, they actually become really important, because without them you can lose your speed really quickly because you're not pushing anymore. When the launches give you that added boost, and so they do actually add to the game quite a bit. But yeah, and so at first it just seems like it's the same, but once you go further in, they just add a few more stuff, and it is a very different game.
It is. I mean, the art style's different as well. I mean, it's still got a cracking soundtrack. It does look nicer, doesn't it? It's quite subtle. I think it's one of those where you probably need to play the first one again.
Yeah, I did. I went back and had a look at the first one just to compare it, and you wouldn't think. Well, the first one in comparison looks so dull and grainy. Yeah. It's like, my days. But then it also feels, I don't know how they've done it, because the first one, when you first played it, felt so good and responsive, but when you go back after playing the second one, it feels almost more clunky and slower, and it just goes to show how much they've refined everything about it in the second game, and how much they have improved it.
Very true. One thing we should, just before we get out of here, mention is that I still feel like it's a Vita game. I know it's PS4, I know it's all that, but it still feels to me like the perfect handheld game.
Oh, definitely, because it's firstly, it's good for short bursts. You're on the bus, you do a mission. That's always handy. Yeah. But then it's just one of them. I think the analog sticks on the Vita work so much better for it, because they feel more tangible when you. But
that's such a weird thing, though. That's such a weird thing. It doesn't feel like that should be right. It doesn't feel like, because the PS4 pad is fantastic, but it also feels like a game you kind of want to get your face in the screen.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you just want to get, because it's so, if you're going for the high scores and it's very tense, you're on 50+ combo and you don't want to fall. It's so twitchy and tense that you just want to get as close as possible and feel like you're going to break it when you do inevitably fall.
I have to say, that's one thing. This second one, the manual, has made me. It actually makes it makes the runs more tense, because you are trying to never land, if you know what I mean. You're trying to never just tap X. You're trying to always be, and doing the manuals keeps you doing that combo, and
you almost feel tense. Like finishing a combo in the first game was like an achievement that you've done it good, but on this it almost feels like you've let yourself down by ending it before you should do, and then I just like immediately restart. One thing I do like as well, actually, on how much it's quicker to just restart. Yeah. Because on the Vita, on the first game, you had to touch the top corner, and it wasn't incredibly slow, but it was a bit slower. But on the new one, it's just triangle, and boom, you're doing it again. And I think that just adds to it keeping going, if you get what I mean.
Well, I mean, I think when people are watching this, the game will pretty much be out, and we'll have a review up, and there'll be a link in this video to go and read Dan's words. But I think it's safe to say that the official verdict of God is Geek, well, certainly from us, is that OlliOlli 2 is fucking brilliant. Oh,
definitely. You could not want anything more from a sequel to a game. It's just, they've nailed everything. Indeed. It's amazing.
And I think we just found the title for this video. OlliOlli 2 is fucking brilliant. Thank you for your time, mate.
No worries, pal.
And we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
See you later.